guys, so today I thought it would be a good idea to film a Q&A video just to kind of give you guys a bit of an introduction as to who I am. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't know who I am, so this is only my second YouTube video, so I thought it'd be a good idea just to sit down and answer my most asked questions. I put an Instagram poll up not that long ago asking you guys what you want to know about me, and I've collated a list on my phone of either the most asked questions or questions that were kind of interesting. So I'll try to zoom through as many as I can today, but if you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up or leave a comment down below. That sounds so weird for me to say. I'm so not used to this YouTube world, but let's get started. A quick side note, I actually filmed this video yesterday, but when I processed the videos on my computer, I just hated the way I looked. I think my makeup was too heavy, so today I've just really toned it down. I'm literally in my Miffy PJ top. I've got dinner tonight with the girls, but just gonna keep it chill, casual, kind of like we're having a conversation, like we're friends, so yeah. I've also got my matcha latte here with me so that we can get through the questions together and spill some tea. Not actual tea, but you get what I mean. Alright, so I've kind of broken down the questions into basic questions, questions about career and money, fitness, beauty, relationships, and miscellaneous questions. So a little bit about myself. My name is Catherine, last name's Tan. I'm Chinese Malaysian. I was born in Melbourne. I've lived here my whole life. My parents are Chinese. My mum was born in Vietnam and my dad was born in Malaysia. But they're both Chinese, if that makes sense. First question is, how tall are you? I am 175 centimeters tall, which translates to, I think, 5'8", 5'9". Not too sure about the measurement conversions, but around about that. Okay, second question is, what is your MBTI? My MBTI has recently changed, but not by much. For the longest time, I was an ISFJ, which is a defender, but now I am an INFJ, I think. Not too sure what the difference is, but that's my MBTI. Third question is, how many languages or what languages do you speak? Obviously English is my main language, but I can also speak Hakka, which is what I speak to my mum, and Cantonese, which is what I speak to my dad and my mum occasionally. Pretty broken, not the best, but it's enough to have a conversation with someone, I think. Okay, fourth question is, what kind of music do you listen to? The kind of music I listen to kind of varies, and it really changes depending on my mood, but for the most part it is sad music, chill music, so like Korean R&B, a bit of pop, but when I'm trying to hype myself up, or if I'm going for a run, or if I'm going to the gym, I'll listen to hard techno, trance, a little bit of like happy hardcore hardstyle when I'm working out. I used to be really into that scene, but I think as I've gotten older it just sounds like noise to me, but when I'm working out it's good. Yeah, I like artists like Keshi, SZA, the usual, like, you know, that TikTok. I also really like melodic dubstep, which I recently found out is the name of the genre of like Millennium, Slander, William Black, that kind of genre. So kind of a bit of a mix. I also like Chinese music as well, so I listen to everything and anything that can make me feel a certain way that I'm wanting to feel, if that makes sense. Okay, now onto the career and money type questions. The first one of these is, what do you do for work? So currently I'm not employed full-time. I'm taking a bit of a career break, mostly to do a bit of travel. So I went to the States twice this year, went to Europe for like 2 months, and I'm about to travel shortly somewhere to Asia. So kind of just taking this time to really learn more about myself, as cliche as that sounds, like to really find myself, where my true passions lie, what I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing. And honestly, you know, navigating your 20s is difficult. I didn't think it'd be this hard, especially towards my later 20s. I feel like there's a lot of doubt and a lot of pressure, a lot of comparison amongst not just myself, a lot of my peers, my friends. So we're all kind of going through the same things. So I thought it'd be best just to kind of take a step back, have more time to myself, refocus my attention on what I truly love doing, which is what I'm trying to figure out still. But I still do some kind of work. I run a freelance makeup business and I've been doing that for 8 years now. So I do weddings, events. I also do content creation, mostly on Instagram though, so YouTube's kind of like a new platform for me. But prior to my career break, I was a lawyer. So yeah, pretty boring, but that's what I did. Second question is, what is it like being a lawyer? I loved studying law in high school, but unsure of it as a career. Could you please provide me with some advice? Being a lawyer is not really for everyone, I don't think. out of all the people I went to uni with, like all my uni friends in my group, there's only one other girl who actually practices law, and there was quite a big group of us. So, you know, many of my friends don't even use their law degrees and didn't even continue on to, you know, get admitted as a lawyer or anything like that. My biggest tip, especially if you're still a student, like in high school, or if you're like in your first few years of law, try to experience as many areas of law as you can before deciding whether it's a career for you. You know, volunteer to work at places for free, get work experience in different areas of law. You could do criminal law, family law, commercial, corporate, immigration, whatever area of law it is. Make sure as a junior lawyer or as a younger lawyer, you trial and error different areas of law just to kind of see, you know, what you really enjoy, because one bad experience shouldn't impact your entire view of being a lawyer in general. Third question, how did you become a lawyer? Becoming a lawyer in Australia, there's various pathways to getting to being a lawyer. The pathway that I personally took is I did an undergrad for 4.5 years, I think, 4.5 or 5 years. I did that at Monash, and then I did my PLT, which is my practical legal training, which is your postgraduate diploma. That can take anything between 6 to 12 months. And then after that, you'll apply to get admitted in the Supreme Court. So yeah, it's all up around, I reckon, like 6 years plus to become a lawyer in Australia. Next question is tips for saving. I don't know, I think I'm very blessed in the sense that I grew up in a family where my parents really instilled the notion of saving for a rainy day, and like always having money put aside for, you know, investments or like a house or a car or like whatever it may be. So I think my biggest tip for saving is, A, if you're still quite young and it's healthy for you to do so, stay at home for as long as you can with your parents. Not only is it great family time, like I wish I got to see my family a bit more, but you'll save so much. Living out of home is super expensive and you don't realize these costs until you actually move out on your own. So staying at home for as long as you can, and whilst you're staying at home, putting aside more of your paycheck. You know, when I was living at home, I was putting away 75% of my pay every single time I got paid. And I had a savings account that I literally did not touch until I bought my apartment. So yeah. My second tip would be to find a side hustle or like a side gig which you can monetize on. So, you know, if you have a hobby like doing makeup, for instance, like me, or doing hair, or maybe, you know, you're really good with your studies and you can tutor people, having a side gig and a side hustle really, really helps with saving for, I say play money, but that's such a bad way to put it. It's just extra funds that you have access to do things that you want to do. So whether that be for a holiday or to buy an item you're really wanting, it's always good to have extra cash flow coming in. Yeah. And also just like spend within your means. Don't get a credit card if you're bad with money, but at the same time, credit cards are a really good way of earning points and allowing you to rack up points to go traveling for free. I can cover that in a whole different video if you guys want, but yeah, I have a lot of travel tips and ways that you guys can travel pretty much for free. I swear I perfected the matcha latte. Alright, next few questions are about fitness. A lot of you guys like to ask me about like, what do you eat, Catherine, or what's your diet like? And I get these questions every single day. So I thought it'd be good to include these kind of questions in this video. First question is, what do you typically eat in a day, and do you have a diet? My day-to-day really depends. Like right now my diet is not what it usually is. I'm currently on a calorie deficit just because when I came home from Europe I was like 7 kilos heavier than I normally am, so I'm like, okay, I gotta do something. By being in a calorie deficit, I'm still eating what I want, just consuming less of it. I'm not very strict with these diets. I kind of just adjust to how my body's feeling. Like if I'm really hungry, I'll just eat. But yeah, that's my current diet, and honestly I think you just have to do what's best for your body. Just because I'm doing this does not mean at all that you guys should be doing this as well. But before that, my typical diet would be, you know, lots of veggies and lots of protein. Like I eat a lot of meat. And I actually don't eat that much carbs. I love my carbs, I love my noodles, I love my rice, but I'll usually only have like a little bit with more protein. So just like a protein heavy diet. Next question is, what is your workout routine? Currently, I've got a pretty good workout routine that works for me. So I go to Legree, which is, as I said in my last video, the easiest way to explain it is like Pilates, but it's a lot harder. I do that 3 to 4 times a week. I would say 2 to 4 times a week. And that's like amazing. I like toning every part of my body that I wanted to tone, like my glutes, my back, my arms, abs. It's like the perfect all-rounder work out for me. Then I'm also running once a week. Not very far and not very fast, but I'm trying to incorporate running into my routine. And I'm really enjoying it. It's a really good challenge. I used to be good at long distance running, but obviously that was like maybe 10, 12, 15 years ago. So trying to get back into it, and it's been really good fun because I'm getting my friends to run with me as well. All right, on to the next topic. So this is about beauty, hair, and everything else related. The first question is, what is your hair care routine? What do you use to curl your hair? I think I actually get asked how I curl my hair or what's my hair care routine every single day in my Instagram DMs. Like I see it come up in my hidden requests, and I'm like, it's always at the back of my mind, like, okay, I gotta do a video on it. But I will do a whole separate video on how I curl my hair. If you guys wanna know how to do it, I'll show you. I use a GHD soft curl tong. In terms of hair care routine, I've been very blessed. My parents have very thick hair. All my sisters and I do, so we've got a lot of hair. But my natural hair is actually wavier. I'll show you guys a picture here, which helps with the longevity of the curls, I think. This is like second or third day curls, and it's held up pretty well. No hairspray, no product, it's just as is. Just to use a really good quality shampoo and conditioner. I use like a hair mask maybe like once a month, so I just stick with like a good shampoo and conditioner and a good scalp scrub. I'll link some of the ones that I use down below in the description for you guys. Next question is skincare routine. My skin, believe it or not, used to be tragic. Again, I'll show you guys some photos here. I had cystic acne growing up as a kid. It was the thing I was the most insecure about, and to this day, like, look at this. I almost wasn't gonna film this video because of this one pimple, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna film the video today. I have really dry, acne prone skin, so it's always changing, and like, you know, what works for me may not work for you guys. And I think I change my skincare routine like every month or so, just to kind of adapt to what my skin's needing. So if my skin's feeling dry, I'll go in with a more emollient moisturizer, or if my skin's breaking out, you know, I'll start using more active acids, stuff like that. To answer your question, I don't really have a set skincare routine, but there are some certain products that I love, which I can do another video on. What are your top 3 makeup products you can't live without? Concealer, mascara, and blush. Alright, next topic is relationships. Now, I am not really one to share much about my relationships online. I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I haven't recently. This is like probably my most asked question in my inbox, so I guess I'll touch on some questions around relationships for you guys. The first one being, what are some of your red and green flags you find in men? Alright, let's start off with green flags. So things that I look for in a guy that I find are green flags. Someone who is family orientated, you know, spends time with their family, especially the parents or the grandparents. I think that's always nice. Men who are really kind, not just to, you know, you, but to people like out there. Men who treat people with kindness and like sincerity is really, really attractive. Third one, someone who is like funny. Like, I love someone with character and someone I can banter with and like make fun of, and just be myself and like goof around with. I think that's a really, really attractive green flag, when someone is funny and like humorous and doesn't take life too seriously, but also isn't too much of a jokester. I think you need to have a really good balance. But if someone can make me laugh till my stomach hurts, like, that's a green flag. I think another green flag is someone who is super ambitious and is career driven and knows what they want to do in life and has goals and ambitions. I'm pretty hardworking, and I do have ambition and goals to succeed in life, so I would want my partner to mirror that as well. Some red flags in men is like men who are not willing to integrate you into their circles or introduce you to like their friends and their family, especially if you've been dating for quite some time. Men who are bad communicators. It's not necessarily a red flag, and it's something that can be worked on, but I think communication is so key in every relationship. So any good relationship requires, you know, steady and consistent communication. People who are like really controlling. Like, when I'm in a relationship, I want someone that allows me full free reign to like do what I want and just trust me that I'll do the right thing. I think a man who is like controlling of like what I can wear and who I can hang out with and who I can talk to, that is like a massive, massive, massive red flag. Like, run. If you ever encounter a guy like that, run. Like, obviously if there's good reason as to why your partner feels that way, you should respect that. But I've met many people and I've seen many relationships where men really just try to control their partner's life. All right, next relationship question is relationship traumas and how you overcame them. Girl, I think a lot of people go through relationship trauma, and honestly, I don't think social media is the place for me to talk about my relationship traumas. It's hard, I think, as a creator to like come onto here and like talk about past traumas without people assuming who it's about. But let's just say that I have been through some really dark shit. Like only my closest friends know about it. But I've been through some pretty dark shit and been through a lot over the years that I've dated. My tips on how to overcome this kind of trauma: surround yourself with people you love and people who make you feel loved. You don't need a man to make you feel loved. And that's something I had to learn, because for the longest time I equated my self-worth with how my relationship was and like how I felt in a relationship. But you don't need a guy to make you feel a certain way about yourself. Talking to people about it, spending time with people you really love and like who actually make you laugh and are a joy to be around, that's the best way to overcome trauma. And obviously therapy as well. Just know that everything bad will pass. Like you've probably experienced so many things in your life, and you know, every bad, every good situation has passed. So don't let a shitty situation ruin how beautiful life can be. All right, we're on to the last topic. This is, I've labeled miscellaneous. So the first one is your favorite vacation destination. I've traveled quite a lot, and I'm very thankful and grateful that I've been able to travel a lot. But I think my favorite travel destination by far is Japan. I've been to Japan so many times, but it's a country that I will continue to visit every year if I can. There's beautiful scenery if you want to go like hiking, or you know, ride a bike, or like go see some mountains. Like, but then you can also eat at like Michelin star restaurants, or even cheap eats are amazing in Japan. Shopping is great too, and it's not expensive compared to a lot of other places that I've been to. Second question is, who is your inspiration? I would say my inspiration is actually my sisters. Like, I love my sisters. I have 3 sisters. I have 2 older sisters. I've got Jess, Jackie, and then I've got 1 younger sister, Brittany. The age gap between us is quite big. So Jess is 37, Jackie is 34, I'm 27, little sister's 24. So big age gap, but we're all super close. We talk every day. But my sisters, they are boss ass bitches. Like, they helped me through, again, some of the hardest times of my life. They really helped me navigate through like relationship problems, career hurdles. Like, they're both very successful in what they do. And they're like the best moms to my nieces and nephews. Even like with fashion advice, I'll always go to my sisters and ask them, you know, do you think this looks good? But we all have very different fashion, and they think my fashion's terrible, which I don't blame them. But it hands down being my sisters as well as my parents. Like, my parents are hustlers and have worked so hard to provide my sisters and I the lives that we have. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all 5 of them. I'm number 6, so all 5 of them are my inspirations. All right, next question is, what cameras do you use? The current camera I'm using is the Canon G7X. It was my vlogging camera, but I now have a new one that my friend just bought me for my birthday. The Canon G7X I love using for portrait photos, so like photos of myself, my friends, of people. It's a great digicam. I bought it before the hype, and I got it for pretty cheap, like in 2018 or 2017. But yes, that's the one I'm using right now. I've got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 now for vlogging, so I'm yet to set that up. I just got a new micro SD card for that today. And my Fujifilm X100 VI is my travel camera for more scenic photos. So think landscape, scenery, it's so beautiful. I'll put some photos here of some photos I took using the Fujifilm X100 VI during my Europe trip. It's unmatched. Like, the film simulations on that camera just make everything feel so romantic, I think, or very beautiful. All right, next question is, how did I get started as a content creator, and any tips for becoming a content creator? I don't know, I feel like I kind of just stumbled into being, quote, content creator. I've been on the platform for many years. I actually first started off on Tumblr. I don't know if any of you guys followed me back then. It's very cringe, and I'd be embarrassed if you did. I was young. I was like in year 7 or 8 or something. I started off on that platform, and I gained a decent following on that platform, and then Instagram rolled out when I was like in year 8, I think, year 7 or 8. So I created an Instagram account and started just posting what I was posting on Tumblr on Instagram. And then I landed my first ever collaboration when I was in year 9. I remember very vividly. Was it year 9 or was it like year 10? It was with Daniel Wellington. But yeah, from then I just started working with brands, and a lot of them, actually most of them, were not paid back then. I was just happy to be able to post things that I really wanted, and I was getting these free items from brands. And it wasn't until I kind of hit uni where I started landing my first paid collaborations, and I was like, you know what, this is actually really cool. And the thought did cross my mind of pursuing content full time, but I knew I really wanted to finish uni and really focus on that. The idea of being a content creator, especially to like Asian parents, is so foreign. Whether I'll ever pursue content full time, I don't know. Maybe it's a possibility, I could. And it's been really cool to like work with awesome brands that I genuinely love over the years. I'm very picky with who I choose to work with, which is why I don't do that many paid collaborations. I don't know, I just want to stick to posting crap I want to post about. I really don't care if things flop. Like if a video only gets like, I don't know, X amount of views, I really do not give a shit. Like I'd rather just post what I want to post and be happy doing what I'm doing. I don't want to just do things for the sake of doing them. Like I want to post things because I genuinely want to share them with my audience. So whether it be a shitty cooking video where the recipe flops, or like maybe like my matcha drink videos, whatever it is, like I just want to continue posting things that I want to post. And I think that's the direction that I'll continue to take with my socials. You know, I'll post my travel content, my cooking, my drink videos, time with friends and family. I'll post these things regardless of how they're going to perform. And I don't want performance of my socials to be like the factor that drives the kind of content I create, if that makes sense. My biggest advice if you're wanting to get into content creation is to just be yourself, post what you want to post, share what you want to share. And naturally you'll accumulate like a following of people and an audience that resonates with you. You know, and you can continue doing the things you want to do, and your audience will support that. All right, that concludes my first ever Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a little bit more about me, and I'm sorry if it bored you, but also thank you if you stayed to the end. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. The next one should be pretty fun.